And 3, 2, 1. What's up, George? What's going on in the House of Craze tonight?
In the House of Craze tonight, we have the talented writer, filmmaker, Ryan Christopher Doyle. He's going to be talking to us about Porcelain Dolls, his new project that's going to be coming out on Kickstarter. So look out for that.
Word.
And we're going to be talking about indie publishers again. Coming right up. Yes.
Let's get it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Cast the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the Dreamer, Medina, and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Catch the Craze podcast. I'm your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera. And I am with
George the Dreamer Medina. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to another exciting episode of Catch the Craze. It is Tuesday, September 9th, and we are one episode away from the big 600. That's next week, Karen. Next week.
That's crazy, right?
We are 1 week away. 20 years old. Wow, we old. What's up, Luke? What up, Karen?
Yourself. Feed yourself.
We will be doing that next week, but this week we have another indie creator in the mix. As I said to you guys in the soft open, Ryan Christopher Doyle is on today. He's going to be talking to us about Porcelain Dolls. This is a graphic novel about a group of young female artists that are being hunted by a killer that is creating art out of artists. Is a killer on the loose, creating art out of artists. Very, very interesting book. It sounds like a really, really good book. So check it out. The campaign is on the pre-launch stage. So check out the pre-launch page. Make sure you follow it. He's going to come on and talk to us a little bit about that. And we also obviously have the topic. Was that? Oh, yeah. Links in the chat. Yeah. So before we do any of that, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. If you're on here right now, please hit that like button. Share the video if you can. And, just help us grow this bad boy. We are at 1.8K. 1.84K. So, thank you to everyone who's already joined the fam. We have a good show for you guys tonight, but we have some stuff going on this weekend. I think, Sam, you do. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that before we jump into the guest. What up, Sammy?
Yeah, this weekend I'm going to College Station. I'll be at College Station Comic Con. It's my third appearance. Shout out to everybody who's watching from College Station. I'm looking forward to it. They really treat me well. And the students out there and the fans out there are really diehard comic fans and duty fans. And I got a whole slew of new stuff that I'm bringing out there. So get ready. I'm looking forward to having fun this weekend. So I leave Friday. I'll be set up my booth Friday. I'll be there the whole weekend. And then right after that, about a week after, I'll be doing the Denton Comic Art Expo, which is my third appearance there as well. Shout out to Brian Kelly, who is the organizer and owner. And he also has his own publishing company and his own comic shop. And he does a lot of things for the community in Denton. And he's also the one who published Herman in the anthology that was released on Free Comic Book Day. So I'm looking forward to that. And right now I'm just promoting the launch of Forbidden, which is launching in October, and it's the only time you're going to get a book that has the original members of Crazy Comics and Catch the Craze. George the Dreamer Medina did all the lettering. Anibal Arroyos did the first half of the graphic novel. And then I wrote and I do a lot of the promotional art and stuff like that. So I created the entire series. So the three of us are in it. So if you're a fan of Cast the Craze podcast, if you were with us from the beginning, if you're new to this, here's an opportunity to get something from the original crew. So that's pretty dope. And it launches October 14th, right after George launches.
Shameless plug.
Like that layup?
Lou, very nice, very nice. Lou says, wait, before we even wait, hunting female artists, since Lou is a female artist, an incredible female artist.
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, no, the shameless plug is dropping on Kickstarter in 29 days.
Yes.
So the countdown has begun. October 7th, we will be doing a show here, launching the campaign live for you guys, and it'll be on for 30 days. The week right after that, 2 years a sub, I believe. Wow. A week after that, the month and a week right after that, you launch your campaign. So it's going to be a nice back-to-back week of campaigns for us. It's going to be a good time. That same week, I'm also going to be at a book signing. So I wanted to give a big shout out to, if you guys are watching this in New York and you're in the Long Island area, make sure you check me out. I will be at LI Comic Shop in Lynbrook, New York, out in Long Island. And I'll be signing the book there Wednesday, October 15th, which is Comic Book Day. It's that Wednesday. The book will be releasing, and I will be there to sign copies. I'll be there all day, 11 to 8. It's going to be a full day of fun. So if you are in the area, come by, stop by. I'll be there signing books, and I'll have some other stuff with me. So come check me out.
Fantastico.
15th. The week before that, though, obviously the campaign launches, but I'll also be at the New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
The 8th, 9th, that weekend or whatever. Yeah. And I'll be there with Johnny C. So come check us out. Big shout out to Johnny C.
Yeah, there's a slight chance that your boy's going to be at New York Comic Con next year. So we'll see.
There you go.
We'll see.
There it is.
If I go out there, I'll go out there for more than just the weekend. I'll go, for the event. I'll go there ahead of time. We can go and shoot the Jesus and have fun, and it'll be dope.
Be good. Yeah, no, it'll be fun, man. That'll be fun.
Yeah, but on shameless plug, bro.
Oh yeah,
we're launching here live on Cast the Craze podcast.
Yes.
Right. And there's something I did for shameless plug. Something. Yeah. So you gotta be here for the live to see what's going on.
That's right. Well, we will be giving out some things. We'll be giving away some stuff. So come and check that out. Sammy did a very, very nice surprise. So check it out.
I was inspired.
You're inspired. There you go.
Of all the things I've done for your characters, this is the one I'm the proudest the most of.
Oh, really?
Because I remember when I did Russ and you were not happy with it. You're like, yo, you remember the original time I did the Russ and you're like, yo, you contorted his head. You squashed his head, right? That was that first rendition. I like the Wonder Duck I did last time.
The Wonder Duck was super, dog.
Did his thing, and I was like, oh man, I gotta step up my game because Hector, he did, remember? He did that one piece. I was like, man, he made me look bad. So I was like, yo, I gotta go in the lab. So this time I was like, yo, I'm gonna go in. So when I hit you up, I was inspired that moment. I was like, yo, George, send me your sides. I need to see all his sides. And I knocked that out.
Yeah, no, it came out really good, man. Yeah, it's a fun little character. I'm glad you did that. So yeah, come to the show, come check out the show on October 7th and see what we're talking about. I was gonna do a post, but I'm not gonna post it until the campaign launches, so you guys can check that out. And it's gonna be good. At the end of this month, on the 27th, I will be at a show here in Yonkers at the Yonkers Public Library. It's a one-day show. It's the Yonkers Comic Con. So come check that out if you're in the area. Come check that out. But man, it's going to be a bunch of stuff going on. I'm excited for you for Forbidden. I can't wait to see,
25 years in the making, bro.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while. And obviously, Duty's coming back. He's making a little comeback after that.
Duty's coming back in February on Kickstarter, issue number 8.
Yeah, no, but we got stuff going on, man. You got the Adventures of Wonder Duck on the 15th. That's in stores. And then, the Shameless Plug comes out on the 7th. So we're going to be busy. We're going to be busy in the next few months.
Yeah, man. But speaking of busy, we have a guest that's really busy making things happen in the green room when there's no cookies, there's nothing, there's no snacks in the green room. I don't understand that, man. It's just crazy. But without further ado, nice that there's more to Sam than duty. Oh, thank you, Casey. Thank you. Yes, I think I got layers to my game, right? You know, I used to be a rapper, you know. Anyway, but let's bring in our guest and let's get this party started. What's up, Ryan?
What's going on, Ryan? How are you, man?
I'm not bad. Thanks for having me on.
Oh man, thank you for coming on, dude. This premise that you have for this book that you have coming out, female artist being hunted by a serial killer, man. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes, but before we do that, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience? Tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you have a very, very cool background. So tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Well, I heard you say that I am a filmmaker, of course, comic book writer, and writer as well. Yeah, my background, I don't know. I mean, you could call me I got my real estate license at 21 years old. I'm not money stupid. How's that? Anyway, but besides that, I mean, within this whole project, you know, I can say that from filmmaking and even distribution, everything, I thought that just, hey, I've got this crazy story and just creating it into a comic book would just be a snap. It'll be so easy. And clearly, just listening to you guys. And by the way, I heard 1.8 something. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Anyway, you know, the comic book world is just as hard as film. It's crazy from, you know, just publishing, promoting, and, you know, seeing the longevity of how long your project's going to go and whatever.
Right.
It's been wild. And I've seen people fail and I've seen a lot of people succeed, and it's been a ride, and it is. Yeah. Thank you for saying I'm busy, because I am.
Lou says she draws stick figures. She's a female artist. She just doesn't want to be, you know, in the sight of this serial killer that you have going on in Porcelain.
There are more than one, but yes, it's. I mean, to put it in like let's throw it in a movie perspective. I guess the latest would be kind of like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Later movies like I don't know Kiss the Girls, and The Bone Collector would definitely be something of that symbolistic killer that is just kind of mocking up these girls and making art sort of in the vein of the art that they made. Yeah. And it's really like kind of a baffling serial killer case, you know? So it's fun. It's bizarre. I mean, it's not your typical comic book, but it depends if you like that darker side of comic books, you know. Yeah, I would say even something like Sin City or something from back in the day. It's kind of fun like that. So
yeah. Kerry wants to know: are they comic book artists that he's hunting, or is it just like all artists?
No, it's actually we call it genres of artists. So I mean, I'll break it out into specifics. I mean, a painter got painted, a photographer, well, she got photographed, and it kind of goes on from there. I don't want to tell you what happened to the musician. It's pretty weird. But each of them is kind of like displayed in whatever art that they were making. And it's kind of a mock at, like, they think that they are better at being an artist than those artists were, past tense, because now they're dead. And that's just kind of where it spirals. You just don't know who and what and whatever and how they're all connected. So, yeah.
How long were you kind of putting this thing together between writing it and putting, you know, just getting the artist, and how long did that process take for you? I know you were told about it takes a while. So tell us a little bit about that process for you.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be really clear, over a decade. I mean, just to be crazy with it, when I wrote it, again, I thought it would just be a snap. Hey, I'm just going to do this as a comic book and publishing should be easy. That is just a stupid idea. I mean, it's just as hard as getting a novel published or distribution for a movie or whatever. I mean, building an audience is no joke. And that's kind of why I'm here. And thank you again for having me. But it is you know, you definitely have to hit the pavement. And I mean, even going to comic book conventions and whatever and having a booth, if you don't have enough publicity to draw attention, you're not going to get any there. I mean, people just walk on by. They go to what they think is cool. And if they don't know about it, then they're not going to go there. You know, even with Kickstarter, it's kind of the same thing. If you don't know about it, then you might just pass on by, you know?
So. No, I think and I was checking out the pre-launch page. I mean, you have about 140 people signed up already, which is very good, man. It's a very, very good number there.
Thank you.
As far as building that audience, what were some of the things that you think worked for you, and what are some of the things that you're like, damn, I thought that was going to work and it didn't work at all?
I'll tell you what. I mean, I've been told by many other people, just do Facebook or do this or get your Instagram or do Twitter, which is now X. Do all of these various platforms, and that, I mean, you tinker with all of them, and truly, I think on the Facebook end, the cool thing about it is groups. And you can watch other artists. And to tell you the truth, if I did it all backwards, I think I would have joined those groups and I would have found an artist through networking that way. I mean, you could do it at a show, but to find the artist is one thing, and to put it all together. And from my writing background, I did not know how to write a comic book script. Right. Now I do. I mean, I could do this on my own. It's not like a movie script. It's not like writing a short novel or a novella. It's not like that at all. It is in a way, but it has its own structure. So I definitely needed to jump into that. And there's not a lot of people out there that really, I mean, the variations in that from a Marvel script to an independent script to whatever doesn't translate. I think the best translation is the artist communicates with you and understands what you're putting down, and you work together. And I don't know. I mean, again, those were the learning curves that I thought, oh yeah, this will just be easy. Right. It's not. Right. And I think a lot of people out there just think that, oh, I'm going to make a comic book too. And I've been hit up by a lot of people, which it's flattering, but I'm going, whoa, you don't know the money and the time that it really takes to do it. Yeah. And when I say money, Kickstarter is one of those things that at this point, it's hard to hit the button. I could recoup the money, but am I really going to grow like I've seen other people do? And usually it looks like the third time around, you've grown like a following, and you might grow it continuously. And if that's your route, then great. But, it can destroy going traditional publishing. And if you think that Amazon is going to be your end all, I don't know. I mean, Amazon kind of seems like you get lost there too. So I don't know. I mean, I'm just talking from my experience. You asked about, stuff, and this is what I've learned. So
no, and Amazon also, they take a good chunk.
I mean, you just to throw it out there. I'm sure you guys know, and maybe not everybody does, but I think the scale, unless it's changed, I mean, you have to hit a minimum page count, and then it changes. So you really have to be a graphic novel or a book. And I don't know if it changes in graphic novel, but you have to at least have a 90-page book. To where it goes from they take 70 and you only get like 20, or wait, my math is wrong. It's like 70, 30, but I think it flips once you're over like 90 pages. It goes somewhat in the writer's favor, but it's a chunk. It's really weird. You have to read the fine print.
Yeah. You mentioned, hindsight is 2020. You probably would have gone in reverse and maybe found your artist in some of these groups that you mentioned. How did you find your artist?
Well, I will throw it out there, and he does have a company, Steve Stern, who is the creator of Zen Intergalactic Ninja. Good guy. I had to dig to even find him. His company is graphic novel storyboards. You can find him in my friends of mine on Facebook and other various places. But Marat Michaels was who who worked on Zen, who also worked on Deadpool, which was very attractive. Knowing this is not, he was basically a name. So he put kind of the team together. Otherwise, I would not have known how to do it at all.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, again, going from somebody that thinks that this is just easy and you walk into it, you have to create a team. And when you see all the names on like a book, they're there for a reason. It's just not, maybe one guy was the story behind it, but if it's just the story, somebody else has to structure it, and it's who knows the next guy to make it come to life,
Yeah.
So
Agreed. The book itself. So it's a graphic novel. How many pages is the book? Is this, would you say it's going to be like an ongoing kind of like novel series, or is it just like this one shot story? How many pages is it?
Let's do this. This is how I envisioned it originally. I wanted it to be, I don't know, something like a 200-page graphic novel. And price per page. I wasn't doing the math right. Yeah, I know. I'm glad you're laughing because it's a reality.
Oh, I'm telling you, I'm laughing because it hurts.
So now we're clear. So then I figured, hey, great, Marat's a name and whatever. I'm just going to pitch this with just black and white and just artwork and just see if it gets, a deal. That didn't really happen. And I was going, wow, now I've got money into this. And then I was looking at it, and we talked about it only being like a 45-page one shot or something. And those don't even really exist. And I was just like, well, I don't know. I mean, I just figured I'm just going to go for it. And over time, just, create the whole book, and it ended up being about 90 pages, which if I just packaged it and sold it as one book, I looked at it and I'm like, well, Kickstarter changed my ideas. And I'm like, everybody's doing these just, I don't know, like, I'm going to call it periodicals almost, that it seems like it's ongoing. It's an ongoing series, and they're doing, volume 1. And why not just break it up and do it into volumes? And if I wanted to, and I get fancy later, I will put all the volumes together, and it is a complete story. It was originally supposed to be a graphic novel, and I could package it, and hey, I've got a hardcover collector's edition. If it builds an audience, if book 1 does well, which is 24 pages plus the cover plus the back, whatever, it's 24. So do the math. I mean, that's 88, whatever. But it ends up being over 90 pages if I package it up and say, hey, okay, I can release it as a graphic novel. So I still call it the graphic novel series, because again, that was a business decision and or test the waters and see, again, I've got 140 people that haven't seen the book that are following it. And if they all get it and they like it, then it could spread to book 2. So I don't know. Hopefully that clears it up for anybody that's involved in starting to follow it and like it. So
yeah. How many days are you going to be live for?
When I go live, I probably it seems like the standard is 30. I mean, it seems like that is fair. The excitement usually hits all at once, and then if it sort of trickles on, then 30 days. And again, with Kickstarter, knowing that I have a book ready to go was drastically weird back in the day. Kickstarter usually meant you wanted all the funding to get it done, and you didn't have a product. And that's really gone away, which is very helpful for somebody like me. I have it. All I'm really doing now is pre-selling the book and getting some of my funds recouped, Yeah. So, I mean, that's my reality anyway. So, But days to launch, I don't know if I was clear. I don't know when. I mean, I've gathered, so when it hits, I don't know, maybe 200 or something, maybe 150, I can hit the button at any time.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, man, this story looks very, very interesting. The idea, the concept, talk to us about where it came from, how it, why the artist, why that kind of like style.
Murat, he does, well, again, let's just say his art is great. And he does physiques very well. If you look at, he does a lot of kind of erotic risque stuff. And then he's got this whole, the poo thing going, but he flips back and forth. And again, he does the superheroes thing again with Deadpool. And I saw a lot of his sample artwork as far as just female figures. And I was like, wow, I don't know, this guy looks like he really can be it. And so I guess that was like a really big decision, and I could get him, not on cheap by any means, but he was available to do it. So I don't know. I mean, seeing it come together there's so many different styles. I just read an indie book last night, and if it was 10 years, whenever, the carousels have disappeared in stores. I mean, they don't exist for one-shot little books anymore much.
Right.
Yeah. I look at some of those books and I'm going, I don't know if I just grab this and buy it right away. And I'm going, well, what separates this? Is it the story or the art? I think art does sell, and his art sells. So I don't know. Maybe I answered the question. I don't know.
Yeah, no, man. It looks like I think Anibal had mentioned that sounds like a very interesting concept, because I think it is. It's something that I think is gonna raise a lot of eyebrows and be like, ooh, what is that about? So, I wish you the best of luck with it, man. It looks
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's not a superhero book, but it's definitely it's kind of sexy and different. It's fun. It's a thriller for sure.
Oh, for sure, man. What have you been hitting the convention circuit? Have you gone to any of these shows? Have you done any of that stuff yet?
Yes, and again, I've learned weird stuff. I mean, again, just in publishing and Comic-Con and whatever. Listening to panels is always great, but for me to actually have a booth. I know what it costs, and going into that's almost like pre-marketing that you really should have some awareness before you even walk into a show with a booth. And really, I mean, it's kind of a coordination thing that if I was to do it, I'd want the whole team there to, you know, kind of sign books and based on their reputation and whatever. Not that they wouldn't be there anyway. I mean, everybody that I've worked with is typically there. It depends on what convention. But yeah, have I done the conventions and just done my due diligence? Absolutely. And you learn from panels. I learned from a guy, I can't remember what publisher he sat on it, but you know, it was at San Diego. He's just like, you know what, if you want to pitch a project, the best place to do it is not on the floor here. He's like, go find me at a hotel. I'm probably in one of the bars that are in the hotel that we're staying in. He's like, here's the secret. We all stay there. And I was like, well, that was kind of nice to know, but it's kind of hard to go up there to a stranger and say, hey, I just saw you and I want to pitch my book right here at a freaking hotel bar. I don't know. So it's a nutty world. It's nuts. It's fun though.
It is. I recently was at San Diego Comic, and I had the same thought you had. Basically, these panels is where you're going to see some of the people that are quote unquote the decision makers, right? So it's good to kind of go and check some of those out, and then maybe chat them up at the show. And it's funny that you say that because they're telling you, nah, don't talk to me at the show. See me after at some of these, some of these hotel parties out there they have.
Well, I mean, again, it's goofy for me you can, of course, pay to get into Comic-Con. I managed to get in the first time because I had enough artwork and the names that when I sent in my application, I got in.
Right.
But again, that was after the fact that I started developing the book. But no, knowing, I would say from, again, my experience in doing this and anybody that wants to try to do this, sitting on the panel, from what you will learn if you listen, it's not so much that this guy said that he might be with other publishers sitting in a hotel somewhere. Mm-hmm. It was more that you got their names and you know what publication that they work for. I mean, you know, name anyone you want. And you also learn stuff about who does what. And again, I'm not trying to stampede rather on anybody, but I know who wants to keep rights, call it, movie rights, and who doesn't. And then you learn kind of who is almost like a hybrid publisher where you're kind of still self-publishing, but they're supporting you in a way, but they only take a piece of the book. And then it's just, you learn. That's all I can say is you learn like a lot. Yeah. So if you want to know, and it's ever changing. I mean, everything is always changing. So I think that going to shows is knowing what the heartbeat is to the market and knowing the heartbeat of the fans and what they're looking for. So
the Porcelain Dolls project. So you're launching it on Kickstarter. You pretty much, like you mentioned, you have a lot of that stuff done, a lot of it, right? Already done, most likely at some of these pages.
Well, okay. Even, I don't know. I mean, you could always scroll through it. My other computer, if it's, I have sample artwork, and as you can see behind me, if you can even see it, that's how it started. It was talks of cost that I was just going to have it in just black and white. And I was going, nah, I don't like it. I'm looking at, there's too many, even if you look at some books that are done in black and white, like, I don't know, The Walking Dead or something, most of it is shaded and colored in and whatnot. So I took the next step and went to that direction. And it was, again, talked about because of cost. And, it is more to print. It's more for color. And I have always had a thing for black and white movies that are these old, weird detective noir thrillers like Hitchcock. And in fact, I rewatched Psycho recently, and I was like, wow, for its time, great story. And the youngsters, in fact, I'm way too young for this too. You wouldn't think it. But if you know anything about the Hays Code, where you weren't allowed to kiss on screen for, I think it was 3 seconds, Hitchcock actually started a stopwatch, and the way he cheated, he got around it by, he would have his actor and actress embrace for like 3 seconds, and then they have to pull away, and then they could like nuzzle and embrace for 3 seconds and pull away, and he was timing it. He was like saying it off camera, like yes, now, like yes, no, yes, no, So crazy stuff like that. I was kind of going, for just going black and white, I can live with it, and maybe you'll get something different that's just not like the norm. So again, it's been done, but no, there is how I went further in the progression. You can have it in the old way, and you've got it in shaded black and white. You can choose when it goes live. So
Awesome, my brother. Well, listen, thank you so much, Ryan, for coming on. For those watching, check out the Kickstarter pre-launch page for Porcelain Dolls. I think the link is in the chat, right, Sam?
Yeah.
We have everything in the chat. So make sure you follow it for the pre-launch page. This thing can go live any day now. Ryan has the power to just hit that button and go live. So so make sure you check it out, Ryan. Thank you so much for coming on. You're welcome back anytime, and good luck with the project.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. Take care.
Take care.
All right, that was Ryan. Porcelain Dolls. Go check it out on Kickstarter. Links in the chat. It's also in the summary. And let's see. We got some topics tonight, bro, right?
Yeah, man. We're going to be talking about some indie publishers.
But if you're listening to us and watching us and you haven't subscribed, here's a couple of reasons why you should subscribe.
It's Monty Moore. I'm a 30-year comics veteran in comics, games, and movies, and you've been watching one of my absolute favorite podcasts, Catch the Craze.
You are watching Catch the Craze.
What am I listening to?
And you're listening to Catch the Craze.
Where are all the indies at?
A Catch the Craze podcast. What are you watching?
I'm watching Catch the Craze.
What are you going to do?
Subscribe now to Catch the Craze, the #1 show online for independent.
Have you subscribed to?
You are an independent. Catch the craze. Making moves on your own. Catch the craze. On your grind in the streets. Catch the craze. Join the movement. Catch the craze.
Nice.
Brought it back, man. I haven't seen that in years.
In a hot minute, right?
It's been a while, man. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yo, big shout out to Mr. Anibal Arroyo, who just joined us. JD Calderon is in.
JD Rosario. Oh,
My
you
bad,
saying
JD.
they all look alike?
My bad,
Oh.
JD. My bad. Ooh. Damn, I guess we're back on Facebook.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Yo, Jay's gonna be upset. Anyway, both Jays. I just upset both Jays with that comment.
I know.
But
Yes,
now we got a
baby,
topic, brother. We got a topic. We're gonna be talking about indie publishers.
Yeah, let's get your mix.
It's time for your medicine.
Let's talk indie publishers again. Why this topic, George?
What the hell are we talking about? Well,
We're
What?
talking about your experience, right?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I think it would.
Go ahead, go ahead.
You know, we get a lot of Sam is my favorite now. I was always your favorite. You know it. You know it. I know that you got my photo in your bedroom and you go to sleep and you say I love you every time you go to sleep.
Yo,
So
did Tupac just call you baby Daphne? Like, is that what's going on, JD? Anyway, guys, what were you saying?
So we got a lot of newbies in the game, a lot of independents trying to break into the game, and then there's a lot of small independent comic publishers that are trying to break into the comic game, and they want to build their brand, and they take on smaller guys and whatever. And you've worked with a few over the years. You've worked with at least 3 or 4. So I think that for the purpose of our listeners out there and with your experience, what are some of the pros and cons of working with smaller publishers, and what was your experience?
Yeah, man, I think, and listen, you and I, we go way back, dude. We go back to 2003, something like that. And back then, Crazy Comics was a thing, right? And that was the very first indie publisher that I worked with. It was your company. And it taught me a lot about the game, right? Because when you and Ryan alluded to this, we don't realize how hard this thing is. We think it's comics. How hard can it be, right? And then we realize, this is crazy. What the hell is going on?
It's Crazy Comics.
It's Crazy Comics. So when I joined, when I joined Crazy Comics, I thought, oh man, we're just gonna put this out and we're gonna do our thing. And then, I think we learned things together as far as like what it takes to publish and what it takes to be a publisher and what it means to be a publisher and all that other stuff. JD says a lot of newbies trying to fix the industry when they need to fix themselves. Quality, presentation, shipping. And that was the thing, right? When we were coming up in the game, quality, presentation was huge, right? Yeah. Presentation was huge growing up. I remember we always talk about this when we went to when we went to Mocha,
Yeah.
right? We were too polished.
Commercial. We're too commercial.
Yeah, we were, yeah, right, for that show, but we weren't, commercial enough for the big dog. So it's like we were like stuck in the middle. We didn't know where to go. So
Like the Goonies.
yeah, like the Goonies. So then we did that.
Hey, you guys.
And then I tried my hand at self-publishing with Mass Media Studios, and we started that. And again, it's not easy to publish comics, man. And that's the theme now, right? It's not easy. It's not easy. Why isn't it easy? Well, there's a lot of work that goes into this whole publishing game.
Mucho trabajo.
Yes, between not just producing the comics, but now the word of mouth, getting it out there, and that costs money. So what did I decide to do after that was, I decided to check out some of the smaller guys, right? Because I think Kerry mentioned Scout Comics, Astrolab. Even those companies were too big for them to take a look at the stuff that I was doing, right? Like I'm sure, Sam, you've pitched to plenty of publishers that some don't even respond to some of these.
Get out of here.
Get out.
We don't want any.
So that's that experience. So I decided, you know what? Let me check out some of these smaller indies. And so the pros of that is they'll pick you up. They'll take a chance on you. The smaller guys will take a chance on you because they're trying to grow with you. They're trying to do this together, and there's still that thought of like, you know what? I'm not too big for my own, for my own bridges. Let me help somebody else out. So that's the positive, right? Some of the cons is that we're learning together. So a lot of these smaller companies, and no knock on them, man, because we'll go through it. We're trying to put our own stuff out there as well, and we're stretching ourselves thin. What do we got here? There's so much that goes into comics. Just ask about lettering. Yeah, that was fun. Looks good though. It looks good. I will say that book. So
he made it difficult for you, huh?
Oh, dude. Oh, I was like, making me work, dog. Work.
He takes up every square inch.
That don't work. No. It was just, we were talking. We're going on the we'll talk about that a little bit. What the KC said. Got nowhere with those smaller ones. Had
to self-publish in the end.
Who knows? Maybe I'll start myself. So that's where I was going with that. Right now, listen. Big shout out to Darkfire Press because they're J.M. DeSantis is an incredible dude. He took a chance on Wonder Duck, and he got Wonder Duck into places where I didn't even know how to get there, right? So thanks to him, I got into, the Barnes & Noble's website. I got Amazon. We killed Amazon. Amazon was selling a lot of our books and stuff like that. But a lot of that stuff, and listen, personal things come into play. We all go through stuff. Life happens and stuff like that. And we have to constantly go out there and hustle our books, even when we have a publishing deal. And this isn't a knock on the smaller guys, because when you're with Image, if you're with Marvel, DC, well, Image, not Marvel, because Marvel won't publish your stuff, but Image, if you're down with Image, you have to hustle, because Image has to get their money back before you make any money. So you got to make sure that your book is out everywhere. So that doesn't change. But imagine doing that with a smaller publisher. So that's where that gets a little tough. So the cons of that is there's a smaller reach. We're trying to grow together, and so we are kind of like, I don't want to use the term, blind leading the blind, because that's not exactly what it is, but we are kind of like in this struggle together. And so to Carrie's point, sometimes it's better just to go on your own and self-publish, at that point. So yeah, my experience has been good and it's been bad, man. But I wouldn't change it. I think I'm learning. I'm still learning. 20 years in, 22 years in, and I'm still learning about this game.
It's one of the reasons why it's it's not easy, right? And look, kudos to you, because you test and try. You dip your toe in the waters. You see if this works, that works. I made a decision when I decided to get back in the game. I did not want to be a publisher, and I did not want to be tied to someone who can do exactly what I'm doing. I wanted to get someone who had reached beyond what I can do, because I know what my capabilities are. I needed somebody who's going to be able to take me to the level that I'm not able to do on my own. Right. Mm-hmm. And so And so I made the decision. I've had a lot of interest from a lot of smaller guys. And politely I moved on. But that was a choice I made, and everybody has to find their path, and there's no right or wrong. You got to find what works for you, but also realize that a lot of these little guys are doing exactly what you're trying to do as an independent. They're trying to break in as an independent publisher. So they're learning and they're navigating and they're testing and trying, right? So if you have the bandwidth and the patience to be able to work with them through that process, because I think what happens is there's this preconceived notion with independence where you tie yourself to a small brand that's trying to break into the game, and you assume that the work stops. You got to work just as hard anyway, because you got to help them with the promotion, right? You got to help them with all these other things that it just doesn't stop. And so I think that's where the reality comes in. It doesn't end because you tied yourself to a small guy. It's actually means more, because now you have to work harder to promote it, because they're limited in scope in marketing budget.
Yeah, man. I'm big on building relationships, right? And the only reason why, like you said, I dipped my toes into that water is because I built a relationship with even Hades from A7 Imagination, right? Big shout out to him, because he published Rust 5377 as a graphic novel, and he was able to get it international. So so the book is now a Forbidden Planet in what is it, in
UK?
Europe? Yeah, in the UK. So something that I would have never been able to do, right? So he was able to take that project and go there. But I think for me, it's calculated risks.
Yes.
And I say that because I got to know this person. I knew, or at least I trusted, and I still trust, and I know that these aren't people who are going to try to just take my project or shelve it somewhere or not give it the care that it deserves, as far as I was concerned. And that's why I joined guys like Jay and DeSantis. I knew he was a good guy. Like I had a good relationship with him. I knew that my project was in good hands with him.
Yeah.
Same thing with Hades. You know what I mean? There's that trust. I wouldn't have done that with, and they're out there, like somebody like Source Point Press or those guys like that, because I honestly don't have a relationship with them. Right. I don't know what it was going to be like to be under that umbrella. And like you said, I still had to do the work anyway. Yes. Might as well, join somebody that I like.
Yeah, because
I have a relationship with.
And the reason why I'm very stubborn about it is because when I was in the music industry, we signed with a smaller publisher. That they had a list of artists ahead of us, right? They had like 5 or 6, so we got put on the shelf, and they were desperate to sign us. We got signed, and then we went onto a shelf, and we weren't going to be released for another 2 years because they wanted to go through the cycle of their existing, artists. And I was like, oh, I don't want to be a number. I want the same kind of love for my project and that I would give. And so because of that, I'm very apprehensive about anybody that approaches me it's not on a large scale. And I'm, for me, it's got to be like, what are you going to do that I can't do? How is it going to expose it to an audience that I can't reach? I will do my end. I love to promote. I love to hustle. You know me. But that's, for me, that's the caveat. But there's a lot of guys out there listening. You heard our guest earlier, right? He's very specific about when he's going to invest in a booth because there's a specific outcome he's looking for, right? And he wants to make sure that it takes all those things into consideration. The team is there, the brand recognition, all that stuff, right? So you got. Sometimes we take for granted all the things that go behind the scenes just to get your stuff out there. Yeah. And a lot of it's the sweat equity that we forget about.
And there's also that thing about building an audience, right? And I think that if that publishing company has a huge fan base, that whatever they publish, they're going to pick up because they're just fans of that publishing house, then it becomes a lot easier to sell a product. Image is a good example of that, right? These guys came with a fan base, and I know this is 90s, totally different, like almost like Lifetime at this point, but they were superstars. And so when that first issue of what was the first book, Youngbloods, was coming out, there were lines outside the store for Rob Liefeld to sign.
It was Young Bloods and Spawn,
right? So
and Wildcats.
They came with a fan base. Unfortunately, we don't have that. These smaller publishing houses don't have that fan base, don't have that push that they have. So it's very difficult because, like you said, it becomes your job to do that. And then at that point, you know, the mindset of the indie is, I could just do this myself.
Yeah.
Right. To your point. And this is why, like, you know, people talk about, well, you should get a bunch of indies together and we should unite and all that other stuff. And it's easier said than done, right? Because we all have our ways of doing things.
Yes.
You want to do things your way. I'm going to want to do things my way. Aniba, for example, Mike, I see Mike is in this, San Martino. We're going to want to promote our projects the way we want to promote our projects. Sell them at the shows that we want to sell them. We're not going to sit here and say, well, what show? We're only going to do this show this year. Well, who says that? I want to do this show this year.
Yeah.
So what happens now? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm not doing New York Comic Con. Why not? I want to do it. So get a table. Like now we're split. We no longer are a group anymore because everybody wants to do their own thing. And there's little things like that that'll kill. Oh, God, it's just small things like that. We've been through it. We know. That's what happens. You know what I mean? Independent means we want to do it independently. We want to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
That's just what it's in the word. It's in there. What would anyone say? Definitely can just jump your product with a publisher and sit back. Yeah. And wait. Got to keep doing your part. Yep.
Yeah. Do your part consistently. And it doesn't get easier, right? If it's your side hustle, right? So it's, you know, you compound that. And if you're a family man and you have responsibilities, you have a full-time job, or if you're a student and full-time, or if you're a student and working, you know, there's a lot of things, external factors that you got to take into consideration. And then the amount of time it takes inside, right? So it might be like, okay, cool. I got this little independent, you know, that has, you know, distribution in 20 states, right? I'm going to take my chance with those guys. And you think I can just chill now? No, they only got 20 states covered, right? So how are you going to help them reach out to the other markets? You know, what are you going to do locally to build your brand, to let people know, hey, my stuff's available here? You know, you got to go on podcasts. You got to do live streams. You got to promote. You got to do conventions. That's the beast. That's the beast.
Mm-hmm. Let me also mention that I found a friend who works hard to promote local talent and is setting up a publishing service. And expecting hard work for us. Yeah, it is. I mean, I know because I was an independent publisher. I mean, I did everything. I got my business license. I got my trademarks, you know, the website, you know, we did all that stuff. Right. And dude, you know, I was the marketing guy. We got us on radio, got us on TV, but it's a hustle. And I want to just create. You know, I'm at a point where I just want to create. I just want to, I'm having so much fun drawing and writing. Right. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so inspired right now that I was like, I don't want to lose that because now I got to do all that crap. That's why I don't want to be a publisher, you know, and I don't want to have to worry about, is my product in good hands? I need to know that they're going to be in good hands when I make that leap, that someone's going to take care of it the way I do, and that they got my back because I'm going to do my part. They say, hey, Sam, you know, can you get some book signings? Hey, Sam, can you? Yeah, of course. I got you. Boom. Right. You know, we're going to get you in Barnes and Nobles. Can you reach out to them and try to get your stuff there yeah, of course I'll do that. Yeah. That's the game of the game, but you got to be willing to do that stuff. Yeah, no, it's a lot of work, dude. Even like now, right? Involved in, got to use Discord.
I don't even know how to use that.
No, I will not use it.
I got like 18 apps, bro. I'm done.
Dude, I don't know how to use that thing. I'm too old.
Yeah, no, glad you noticed.
Yeah, but what was I? See, I'm old. I forgot what I was talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks, Michael.
Damn, Sam Art. You know
the Discord he brings into the channel is ridiculous, bro. No, now that I'm also, you know, into the whole distribution thing, you know, with Philbo Distribution. Big shout out to him. That's another side of that. You know, how hard is that? How much work goes into that? Every month you got to have. This is why, like, the single issue thing, bro. At our, like, right now, I love single issues. I love single issues, right? As a comic book, you know, fan, I love the single issue. As a creator, dude, I'm so glad that the 8 issues of Wonder Duck are complete, because if I had to worry about completing these things or producing these things every month from scratch, I forget it. It's done. Like, once it starts, it's an avalanche, bro. Every month, you know, You got to, and the terminology you have to learn. You know what I mean? Things like FOCs, and I'm like, what the hell's an FOC, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like final cutoff date or whatever. It's like there's a whole different thing. I'm sure you're in corporate, so you know there's lingo, right? That you now have to learn aside from just writing your comic book story and sending it to your writer and to your artist and getting the pages back. There's a whole other world when it comes to that. So for those who
not only
have
that, but also
publishing companies, it's hard.
Yeah, but also, the money, right? If they
Oh,
say, "Hey, we got 1,000 orders," you got to produce the money to get them the 1,000 copies, right? We need 700. Boom, and your first order was significant, right? So now imagine the next order might be double, right? You got to be ready for that, right? So you got to think about all those things that come along with it, and you got to have the capital. You have to have it ready. You can't be like, oh, because they'll shut those retailers will remember. They're like, no, I don't want. I'm not going to carry that guy. He's inconsistent. That he doesn't deliver.
Yeah, if he's late, he's late. Like once I got my order. So you guys are saying unity with indies is a no. It's a no-go. No, once my distributor said, hey George, this is how many orders we need. It was all right. Got to get it to the printer because that thing's got to be here in a month. It's got to be here by like the first issue has to be here by October 1st. And guess what? At the end of this month, the second issue has to go to the printer. And then at the end of that, so it's constant money, right? That you have to have that flow of cash to be able to do that.
That's why I'm doing a graphic novel.
Yeah, right.
Almost.
So think about that as an indie publisher, right?
Yeah.
That indie publisher has to have the money to have all of these. If they're publishing more than one book, they have to have the capital to be able to print all these books and have all these books ready for shows, for stores, for whatever it is that are needed, right? So you forget about that, and it's like, does that company have the cash flow to do that? Can they sustain that? Because that's what they have to do, and it is a full-time job. It is a full-time job, and that's what it is.
And I can tell you right now, we came back into the game with the podcast and Catch the Craze at 2019, right?
2019, yep.
2019. Since then, I can tell you in double digits how many indies have come, wanting to be small publishers, wanting to be the next Image, and who are no longer here since then. Right? And we've interviewed a lot of them too, right? They came and they went, and they dropped all those endeavors because it's just they bit off more than it's aspirational, but not realistic sometimes, right? Because we didn't take into consideration that the legal implications, right? Contracts, right? All those things, the financing, the shipping costs, the logistics costs, the time it requires to do these things, all these things that I just want to be a publisher. Godspeed, man. Godspeed. It's a big endeavor. It's not easy. I've seen there's more bodies in the grave than there are people who've actually succeeded in it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard enough to produce your own comic and publish your own comic.
Yeah.
Never mind taking on some other folks. And then you got to deal with different personalities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Disruptive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Guys like Michael Sanmartino, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Guys like Aníbal Arroyo, you know what I mean? Like,
man,
you got to deal with these guys.
All these East Coasters.
These New Jersey guys, you know what I mean?
New Jersey.
These Jersey guys, you know what I'm saying? They get disruptive in the chat. They
start something.
Yeah, but it's tough, man. I mean, the publishing game, shots fired again.
It's like,
I can't wait to see Michael again, man. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, 2 shows in a row.
That's what happens, man. Karma. This is a boomerang episode.
Yo, so spoiler alert. Next week, Michael Sanmartino will be joining us for the 600th episode, right, Mike? You're still coming, right? Your invitation's there, bro.
Nice, episode 600.
Come on over, bro. Come on over. But yeah, man. I mean, so if you guys have experience with publishers, what has your experience been? Let us know. Let us know what you guys have been through. Yep. Oh, he's down. Okay, good. He's down. So yeah. So that's what I got, Sam. But what else you got? Anything else that you can think of? One more thing I just thought of is it's the head junk you got to do, right? It's the social media. You have to be on there and you have to be promoting, but God forbid you say the wrong thing. God forbid you post the wrong thing. Now you have a bunch of people who can't wait for your downfall.
Acting up.
Can't wait.
Acting up.
Can't wait. 0-0 batting average. Hey, Mike.
That's the other thing, right? And I think I just delete people and block people with the nonsense. I don't have time for it. There's too much haters in the game, and that comes with the territory. Anytime you're trying to do something that is in the social hemisphere, right? Anytime you're trying to influence someone's wallet, right, to gain market share, you're going to have to deal with the people who are envious, who resent the fact that you're making moves when they feel that they can. So they're going to criticize. They're going to stand on the sideline and criticize and poke fun and try to poke the bear. Shrug it off. That comes with the job. If you're going to be in the public sector, know that people are going to take shots at you. That just comes with the job. Just shrug it off. Keep it moving. Don't engage. Don't feed it. Don't fuel it. Leave it alone.
Yeah, no, it's true. Otherwise, forget it. Without a good, solid team, you're going nowhere.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But that's the reality. I mean, come on. I mean, what is it? We've been doing this for so long. It's after a while, we just know it comes with the territory, and I'm just having fun. Like right now, like I didn't even book my hotel for College Station till a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, oh, that's right. I'm going to drive out there. I got no place to stay. Right. And right. I still haven't booked my hotels for the other two events in October. Right. I'll do it as I come, but I'm having fun, and like, I'm feeling really good about College Station. As long as there's no tornadoes and no crazy stuff, it's going to be a great show. But I get to have fun, even when I'm by myself. It's like nobody to cover my booth, that stuff. If I have to go to the bathroom, whatever, blah, blah. Normally, I don't know what happens to me at these events that like everything shuts down in my system that I don't have to go until the event ends. It's crazy, right? So somehow, and I'm drinking coffee and I'm doing all that stuff, but somehow my body just says like, shut it down. You got to make money, go have fun. But I get to do what I love. You know what I'm saying? And there's no guarantee. Like, I'm optimistic. I'm going out there. I did my job. I'm going there with a full inventory. I'm expecting to do X, Y, and Z. But the reality is, it all depends on my energy and the crowd, right? They got to merge. They got to meet at the same time with the same energy and the same result. But if you can't have fun, bro, and all you do is you're looking at what everyone else is doing, you're gonna have a tough time. And and all you can do is find all the flaws in the game. You're gonna have a tough time.
Yeah. For sure. I think that just to put a bow on it, I think that if you are looking for like an indie publisher or somebody to publish your stuff, understand that you're going to have to do a lot of work. It doesn't stop with you just signing that contract with that company. You are going to have to continue to do a lot of work. It doesn't stop. So, but go for it by all means. And I also think that you have to, like I mentioned to you before, you have to have a good relationship with the people you're working with, because you want to make sure that they have your best interest at heart and they're not trying to, make money off of you in a way, by taking whatever you have and just selling it without giving you the proper percentage or whatever it is you guys have worked out. I've been fortunate in that way that, if I needed stuff from JN, I was able to just, get whatever I needed. If it's books that I needed, how much is it going to cost? I knew that what it was going to cost. So I was fortunate there, even with Hades and ASAP, they were very, very on the up and up. Sometimes you don't get that. So be careful with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's this couple on TikTok, and the wife came outside and he was doing something in the garden, and she goes, "This is my husband. He's doing his due diligence. So make sure you do your due diligence." Due diligence. He's like, "What'd you just say?" I said, "Due diligence."
What? The wood.
Awesome. But make sure you do your homework. Make sure you do your job. That's it. Do your job. Take care of your business. Read the fine print. Do the stuff you don't like to do. Don't skim. Don't assume. Don't just go on a handshake. Because things can go south real quick, and then you're like, oh, what the hell just happened here, right?
Yeah.
Do your job. But yeah, man. I mean, I thought it was fascinating. Thanks for sharing your experience. I thought that was pretty cool. And for anybody out there, there's a lot of watch a lot of the episodes in Catch the Craze. We got a lot of guys and gals that come on the show and they share their experiences, and from different perspectives. Some people have a faster road to the top. Other people have long journeys to the top, and some people just never get to the top, right? So, that's the life, right? You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life. The facts of life.
So the lyrics to the facts of life into his finishing monologue.
You know that, right? I like it a lot. Yeah, man. But yeah, so this weekend, College Station Comic-Con, I'm looking forward to this. It's a 3.5-hour drive. Stopping at Buc-ee's, do my thing at Buc-ee's. And I got my booth is gonna be legit. I can't wait. But I'm looking forward to that. And then Denton Comic Art Expo, but also the Forbidden Kickstarter. There's gonna be a hardcover edition for Forbidden, and there is the softcover edition as well. So it's gonna
be a wraparound, right? That's a wraparound cover.
Wraparound. This one's a wraparound cover, and then this one's the hardcover edition. Those are mock-ups. And I'm excited about that. We launch on the 14th right here on Catch the Craze podcast. There is a 24-hour special, which is going to be crazy. You're going to want to be there for that 24-hour special because no other reward tier is going to be like this one. And it's only for those 24 hours, which is dope. What's my boy saying? I just want to create.
Yeah.
I don't want nothing to do with other aspects of the game. However, it don't bees like that sometimes. You have to do the damn thing. Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about, right? And so I'm looking forward to Forbidden. And then, but the week before, so we have two launch campaigns. So on the 7th, we got George the Dreamer Medina launching, shameless plug, right here on Catch the Craze podcast. And the week after, we're launching Forbidden. And again, it's the only time you're going to get the three amigos on one project together. Forbidden, right there. There's the Royals, Compoyos, Mr. Vera, Consuela, and the Dreamer Medina all in the house. It's going to be dope. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's going to be good, man. It's going to be good. We're going to have some surprises during that show as well. So tune in. But next week, Sam, episode 600. We have a guest. We have a guest.
We have Joe Solis. He's going to be on the show. And then we're also celebrating episode 600. So if you've been a guest on Catch the Craze podcast, we'd love to see you in the chat. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be dope. 600, man. That's crazy.
600. Dog.
600, man.
Yeah, Jesus. 600.
And shout out to, we're up to 50 signups on Forbidden. So shout out. We're halfway there. I'd love to get to 100 before we launch. It's going to be dope. Yeah, man.
Yeah, Lou says, Lou's coming on as well.
Coming on, that's right.
So, yeah, Lou will be on, so that's going to be good. So tune in for that. Don't forget in the show notes we have the links to the Forbidden pre-launch page and for my pre-launch page as well. So make sure you hit those pre-launch buttons. It's very important to have a lot of people following the campaigns.
Yes.
For whatever reason, they they get buried if you're not following them. So make sure you follow the campaigns, show us some love, and we're gonna see you next week.
Yeah,
that's
man.
300s, Zack Snyder.
What happened?
Michael, that's 300s. Zack Snyder, Zack Snyder reference.
He pulled up the calculator for that one. He's like,
the calculator.
The calculator. For sure. Can't wait for the Forbidden episode. Yeah, man. Yes, man. It's going to be dope. And we're going to have a Royals Compoyos on the show. You better be there with George the Dreamer Medina and myself. And we're going to be talking about Forbidden. And we're going to take it back to the old school. So with that said, I am Sam the Crazy Man Vera.
George the Dreamer Medina.
And we are.
It's just easy. It's not.
No, it's talking about my friend Acquiesce. Say my name, right?
This is what you were thinking? Oh,
He described me. He said, I'm the. What?
Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze. Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.
Candy girl.